Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into game number 3 of 6 today here at the D3Hoops.com 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. I added a few extra .coms just in case. I'm Dave McHugh, Gordon Mann alongside. Apparently, our Thor's had enough women's basketball for now. We will get him on the next call for sure.
He sat any farther away, he would be in a different casino.
Seriously, you are absolutely correct. We're getting you ready for MSOE Raiders versus the Emmanuel Saints in a battle of two teams who've never faced each other. Milwaukee School of Engineering, not surprisingly, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Emmanuel Saints out of Boston, Massachusetts. Emmanuel has two things to claim of fame. One is a national factor, and that's Andy Yasinov, the head coach in his 43rd season, all-time winningest head coach at 837 wins. And, of course, they also knocked off the previously number 1, now number 6, and cruising along Amherst Mammoths. So there you go.
Emmanuel, a program that is built to be a giant killer. They've got a couple of extremely talented individual players on their roster. They are also a team that can lose on any given night, and their record so far reflects that. The Saints were top 25 in the country to start the season, lost their first couple of games, kind of dropped off the radar entirely, beat Amherst, picked up top 25 votes again, and then lost their next 2 games. So they are 5-4. Their last game was a loss to Rhode Island College, who's pretty good. They're 9-1. But you're going to get a chance. That young woman right there, number 1, keep your eye on her. If you don't, she's going to make you watch her anyway. Uleska Ramirez Tejeda, 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, 51% free throw shooting. Easily one of the most dynamic players in women's college basketball.
Okay, quickly get you the starters for MSOE. They'll start with Britta Gravold, at number 2 guard. Of course, kind of the catalyst for the team. Went down with an injured ankle in the second quarter yesterday and came back and played well in the second half. Amy Reiser at guard, number 5. Michaela Doggs, number 10 at guard. Lexi Magruga, number 12 at forward. And Danielle Valley, number 34 at guard as well. And for Emmanuel, you just saw him get introduced. And Gordon mentioned a couple of them. It starts at number 1, Uleska Ramirez Tejada, number 1 guard, wearing number 1 at the guard. Corey Mathis, number 2 at guard. Kayla Weaver, number 24 at guard. Caitlin, hold on, I've got it. No, thank you. I just looked at the wrong one. I have Cipriano.
No, Cipriano. There's 2 Caitlins. The senior
Caitlin
starts.
Cipriano, number 33. I apologize. Skipped over one forward. And then number 45, Loredana DeGastino.
Yeah, we got some fun ones here. I'm looking forward to the Russian twin sisters coming in.
Yeah, I've got that in front of me as well. So we will get you ready for this game. I got to fix one little small glitch. Apparently still have the score in there from the last game. That's not helpful. You don't want to see that as we're underway. And quick shot out of the gate for Emmanuel. And they've got 2 points as they won the opening tip and take the 2-point lead.
Yep, YRTJ, we're just going to YRJ, we're just going to produce, or YRT, we're just going to shorten it that way. Uleska Ramirez Tejeda with the first 2 points, and she is physically extremely gifted. Great softball player, too. She plays softball at Emmanuel. And was a Division I athlete. That was her goal coming out of high school, was to get a scholarship, and she did, to IUPU Fort Wayne, or however it's officially pronounced. I should look it up at this point. But
yeah, that's not easy, I'll admit.
Transferred to Emmanuel, and would have been the conference player of the year last year in that conference if she wasn't in the same conference as St. Joseph's, which was nearly undefeated into the NCAA tournament.
Emmanuel's showing a little bit of pressure here. But MSOE into the front court okay. And they'll go to work in their red uniforms. Of course, they were in their home uniforms in the last game. Shot on the baseline, no good, and Emmanuel pulls down yet another rebound themselves. We'll go back the other direction. Emmanuel in the home whites with the royal blue numbers and a little bit of gold trim on there as well. Again, moving left to right across your computer monitor. Another shot, no good. MSOE with another one. Gravold picks up the rebound. Does not look any worse for wear for that rolled ankle yesterday, which is a great sign.
Yeah, because they only have 9 players on the roster.
That's the other big reason, yes.
MSOE, this is a program as YRT with the steal in the basket.
I love the YRT, by the way. That's
just going to be way easier that way.
I might give it a go, but I like YRT. I'll give you credit.
MSOE, as they roll out the acronyms here, 4-4 on the season, 4-5 now after the loss to UNE. But
the alphabet game.
Yeah, but the Raiders' wins in conference are over Rockford, Marion, Illinois Tech, and Alverno, who I think combined have 3 wins. So they have beaten up on the lower half of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. And it's a program in transition. I'm sure we'll talk about this at some point, but Katie Nelson, the head coach there, left the program relatively late in the offseason.
Yep.
Savannah Trees, who was a great player at DePaul, so played a little bit at Butler.
Jump ball. Yeah. A little feisty.
Is the head coach here, and I crossed paths with some of the MSOE athletes when I arrived at the hotel. I said, how'd your first game go? I already knew the answer to that. And they explained, and I said, young team this year, a lot of changes. And they said, yeah.
Nice pump fake and a basket.
New coach too, so they're trying to find their way. I have to imagine this is a game that Katie Nelson came here because her dad recommended it.
Absolutely.
And Savannah Trees kind of inherited it. Yeah, her dad, Katie Nelson's father, the head coach, longtime head coach at Johns Hopkins until recently.
Yeah, retired a couple of years ago. Josh Leffler took over the program for him as we get a foul inside. It's going to go against MSOE's Amy Reiser. It'll be her first. And Katie Nelson out of basketball for now, actually living on the West Coast. Thought there was an outside chance we might see her up here. I figured better of that, but I still dreamt.
That would have been awkward.
That's why I thought better of it.
And in addition to changing over the coach, the Raiders last year started 4 seniors and a junior who didn't return. So this is an entirely different roster, starting from the coach on down.
6 seconds on the shot clock for Emmanuel, and throwing it out of bounds that time by Cipriano. And so it'll go back the other direction. Andy Yasinoff, University of Rhode Island graduate in 1970, by the way, also has numerous amounts of assistants on his staff.
Yeah, he's got a lot. A lot of them are former. His longest-term assistant is Arthur Howell, who's been with him for 30 years. So Arthur's seated on the bench with his arm on the rest there. Thank you, Megan Kerwan and Chelsea Dunham, the others.
Nice shot. And Ramirez Tejada brings it into the front court, and then we'll get a traveling violation called on DeGastino off that.
Saints get a substitution. Riley Lahif checks in from North Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Believe it or not. Oh, there. I had the wrong number. Yes. Lahif.
Emmanuel, even with all their ups and downs, hasn't started conference play, and when it does, they will likely be the favorite in the GNAC, particularly with St. Joseph's, who won the conference last year, graduating for just about everybody.
Taylor Gillis into the game, the freshman out of Glen Burnie, Maryland. I know where that is. She replaces, she replaced number 2, Corey Mathis. 6:15 left to go here in the first quarter.
I'm curious how she found her way up to Emmanuel. Most of their players are from a transit stop away or so in Boston. That's a bit of an exaggeration. They have some Connecticut players too, but very, very regional roster, with the exception of the 2 kids from the twin sisters from Russia. I can't wait. I am not going to try and pronounce their name. I'm going to let you try.
Oh, I got it.
All right?
Got it.
Okay.
You've got Polina Achinakova and
Arena.
Wait, hold on. I don't have everybody here. You have Polina, yes, and then Arena. Yes, yeah. Arena.
Even their first names are almost the same.
Yes, unfortunately. 6-4 the lead for Emmanuel. 5:45 left to go in the opening. Yep. Ouch, Inakova.
Yeah. I would have gone with Ovchinnikova, but I have no idea.
I just also looked down.
I'm just making that up. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
You've got it.
I called out the pronunciation.
Ovchinnikova. Yeah. There you go. I like that.
5.5 minutes left to go here in Game 3 of the games of 6. We'll be halfway done after this one. That's the good news of the day. We're already about halfway done for the tournament off the missed 3. And the long outlet pass down court is tipped out of bounds by Valley.
Nice recovery by her to get back down the floor and knock that away.
And Emmanuel will continue with bringing in subs as Caitlin Barker returns or comes in the game, the Plainville, Connecticut native. freshman, young team for Emmanuel.
Yeah, it is, with the exception of YRT and one other senior there, Caitlin Cipriano. Now, and Kayla Weaver also senior.
MSOE looking to maybe split the weekend if they can. A tough battle here against Emmanuel. Shot up and fouled in the process is Reiser. So she'll go to the line to shoot 2 here as we're halfway through the first quarter. We'll get you an idea of who our officials are. We had a couple changes in the officials, but I at least know them well enough to figure out who's who. Jen Leach is our lead official, actually called the foul there on that last one. Gary Horkey, who actually worked the last game.
He's done a doubleheader here, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's done 2 in one game before, or one day before, but not back-to-back. But they make some changes. And then the other one, I believe, is Bryce Melican. Bryce on the near side here. And both free throws, only one was made. And so we'll go back the other direction. Long 3. Oh, man, touched a lot of the rim, but didn't go. YRT gets it, puts it up, gets it blocked out of bounds. It will remain Saints' possession. Of course, we talk about Yasinov being the winningest all-time coach in Division III history. Passed a mark many thought wouldn't be touched, and Mike Strong's 815. It's a turnaround. Baby hook is good for D'Agostino. And Emmanuel's got 2 more on the board, 8-5 lead. Of course, he is essentially blown through that with no signs of retirement. He's at 837, Gordon, and I would argue he's got another 4 or 5 years in him.
Yeah, well, I know that. I talked with a couple of the coaches at the Final Four last year. Matt Descharme from Mass Dartmouth was there, and the head coach from St. Joe's was there. And he said the thing about Coach Yasinov is he always kids with him in the offseason that they're never going to catch him because he's just going to keep going.
Keep going. Even GP Gramacki, who's good friends with Yassinov's, not going to got any chance at him.
Well, he's
Well, Andy's going to have to retire.
Yeah, 837 victories. One of only 18 coaches at the women's college basketball level to win over 800 games.
If you're wondering, Pat Summitt, folks, won 1,098 games.
Does she hold the record?
She holds the overall record, yes. MSOE cuts it to 2, 8-6, with 4:17 remaining, and a nice little effort inside on the baseline. Emmanuel back up by 4. I think that shot was Lahith. As we get a tie-up in the backcourt, it'll be a jump ball, and that will go back to the Saints.
So over those years, obviously you don't win that many games without having some sort of NCAA tournament presence. The Saints' best season came back in 2002 when they upset NYU in New York City and reached the Final Four. With Marcy Tillman was there. They're really good. And it's traditionally been guards for Emmanuel when they've been really good. They had her. She led them to the Final Four. Iman Davis was recently inducted into the Conference's Hall of Fame. She led them to the Elite 8 in 2009. And now you've got Yaleska Ramirez Tejeda, who's going to play like a forward but is technically a guard here for Yasinov.
Ball movement from MSOE. Got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nice inside to Valley, but misses the layup, and the rebound collected by D'Agostino, who is a business management major. And forcing the issue there was Lahith. Hits the deck, helped to her feet, but draws the foul nonetheless with 3:19 left to go here in the first quarter. As we'll get some subs for the Raiders. Wendy Gahn returns to the game, the Taipei, Taiwan native. I actually saw Gahn give a couple of hugs to the Achinakova
they're from the same
sisters.
academy. Yeah,
yep.
IMG Academy down in Florida.
Yep, so I saw that in pregame as they were waiting for the floor to be cleaned up between games. South Point does a really nice job of keeping the floors keeping the floor together, and so they were waiting. The trio hugged each other and exchanged pleasantries. I think some of the teammates weren't quite sure what was going on.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't expect much of a connection between Emmanuel out of Boston and MSOE out of Milwaukee. What a play!
Wow, travel.
How was that a travel? I'm
not sure.
I'm not even sure she had the ball in her hands long enough to travel. What a great play by Taylor Gillis.
Oh, right, sorry.
She deflected it there to the...
Yeah, Jamad Finn was the one who tried to put it up. Raybold into the front court, finds a backdoor cut, and another missed layup for Miles, and I'll say this, from two games so far, and full game, and obviously a little of this one, MSOE misses a lot of inside shots.
Yeah, and those are just shots that when you've got 9 players, you got to get it. You got to get points from wherever you can. It's not a good three-point shooting team, 23%. Not a great free throw shooting team, 65%. And a very, very poor field goal percentage for them, 35%.
2:55 left here in the quarter. Runner no good, left short, but Gone gets her own rebound. Oh, and then the skip pass was easily read by Gillis. She'll come down into the front court. Hesitation dribble, drives the lane, but she's going to get hand checked before the shot on the baseline by Reiser, and so Reiser picks up her second.
I really like Gillis.
Yeah.
She's the next big thing at Emmanuel.
I was just going to say, there's some potential there, is there not?
She looks an awful lot in terms of her body type and the way she plays like Iman Davis.
Oh,
that kind of,
yeah.
She has the same hairstyle, which helps a little bit, but it's that kind of long, slender swing player with just incredible athleticism.
Long jumper, no good. Rebound fought for. Another long jumper that barely caught the net on the way down on the outside. Saved from going out of bounds, but the Raiders pick it up. Valley will get it. She'll drive, put it off the left hand, leaves that one short as well. And Emmanuel will come back the other direction. It's Finn with the ball. And she'll get rid of it up to Leif. Leif also gets rid of it to Cipriano. Back to Leif, now to the near side to Barker for 3. Buries that, and it's now a 15-6 lead. After it got to within 2, Emmanuel's gotten a little bit of a run here. Gravold the distance, misses that layup. Left side of the rim, not friendly right now for MSOE, who might be a little bit aghast from their game last night, too. Another Barker 3. Timeout is going to be called by MSOE as first-year head coach Hannah Trees wants to talk this one over. It's a full. We'll take it as well. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas. Emmanuel with the 18-6 lead on MSOE.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
You may not realize it, but these words, often used to describe someone with a mental health condition, can be very harmful. In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation. Just because someone's struggle isn't obvious on the outside doesn't mean they aren't hurting on the inside. We need to see the person, not the condition. Join with me, pledge to be stigma-free.
Welcome back to the South Point Arena in Las Vegas for the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Gordon Mann for game number 3 of today. It is game number 9 of 16 for the event. We are officially halfway through the entire event. Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders trail the Emmanuel Saints 18-6. MSOE's got the ball, but the Saints in a full court press, but they'll draw a foul here. This one's going to go against Jamad Finn, the Boston, Massachusetts junior. And Gone will quickly check in here for MSOE. A quick change, and they will bring Samantha Brown off the floor. I think Brown had just checked in for that inbounds, and they immediately changed it to Gone. 90 seconds left to go in the quarter. Dogs brings it into the front court. Valley skip pass to Gravold. Gravold back to Dogs. Dogs loses control of the ball. Needs help. Gone's not helping her, though. Staying with her. Dogs fighting for it, puts up a shot. Valley is going to get the rebound off. Nope, goes off out of bounds and will remain Raiders' possession.
Coach Shosanoff gets his cardio in, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He looks like he's playing defense on the sideline.
He's also dealing with not being as loud as he normally is, as he told me, a throat procedure at the beginning of the year, basketball year. He had something wrong with his throat. He couldn't speak. And so he actually uses a microphone during practices, he says, which is, if you know Coach Yasinoff, that's something significant. It's a steal by Emmanuel. So the referee's probably not getting the true Andy treatment here today. Barker, the drive, off glass, no good. That's probably a savior. I mean, Andy will chew off a referee's ear for a while.
He's extremely loquacious.
Ooh, look at him now. He had the windmill technique. I don't know what that was. Helicopter, maybe? Yeah, he is. Sure. I've seen him online. I've watched plenty of games, but it's more fun to see him in person. 34 seconds remaining. Bounce pass inside to Miles. By the way, there's a basketball game going on. Andy knows that. Missed the shot. Emmanuel coming the other direction. Barker liking it from 3. Shoots another. She's now buried the last 3 threes that she's tried.
Yeah, Barker shoots 30% on the season. That is, well, they've got 4 players who shoot 30%, and everybody else pretty much hasn't made one yet this year.
8 seconds left. MSOE will take the last shot here. They have gone a while without a basket. Dogs forces one up, gets blocked as one of the Russian twins is in, actually, and the final shot is missed.
Yeah, he got a little of arena ouch of Chinnikova at the end of that period.
A little bit. That draws us to the close of the first period. Emmanuel jumping out on MSOE. 21-6. We'll take a break, see what the second quarter brings us. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic. Back with more from Las Vegas after this.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success. And prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Welcome back, as we're actually getting ready for the second quarter of action here from the D3Hoops.com Classic between MSOE and Emmanuel.
Do you think they waited for the team from Boston to play before they broke out the Sweet Caroline?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. That was well played.
What would be the Milwaukee song?
I gotta ask.
Did Bob Uecker ever sing anything?
He probably tried. Gotta ask Larry. He knows that better than I. Actually, Andy Yasinoff would know it. I got a funny story about that. Double dribble violation on Gone, turnover. I'm going to forget who it was, but one of the Milwaukee greats. He played at Cleveland for a while.
Okay.
He unfortunately passed recently, and Andy is good friends with him from his days from playing at Pawtucket when Andy used to park cars there. Okay. That's what Andy tells me. Andy Yasinoff, that's the story. And he went out to visit him in the hospital before he died. He said he walked in, and there were 2 guys that were of significance. One was Bob Uecker, and the other was Ryan Braun, both in the hospital room checking in on their fellow Brewer as well. Okay. Layup is good as the shot clock nearly expired there for YRT. And we've got 2 more points for Emmanuel, now up 23-6. Emory men lost today to Wisconsin Oshkosh. So a big top 10 loss there. Oshkosh, who is the defending national champs, fell out of the top 25. Finding their mojo a little bit there against the Emory squad down in Atlanta. A lot of top 25 losses this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be that kind of weekend where everybody comes back from break. And
Marietta nearly lost twice as the number 6 team in the country. Had to rally back against York of Pennsylvania. Barker forces the issue, no call. Ball goes out of bounds. I think it was a good no call, just for the record.
I'm going to nominate Space Cowboy as the unofficial.
Oh, okay.
Because Steve Miller is from Milwaukee.
So we'll get the inbounds play. I like your selection, sir. I do like it.
You can pick another Steve Miller Band song if you like.
An Emmanuel steal and a basket. And they are about to absolutely run this game out before it's even at halftime.
This is just MSOE is just in a tough spot. They
are. They looked good yesterday. Well, decent yesterday.
They look exhausted. Everything's short, and they've got 8 players.
Oops. Oh, whoop. Wow. IRT with an interesting one with the basketball. Top Finn 3, buried it. And the game is suddenly 28-6. I got to double check the last time actually MSOE hit a basket.
Yeah, I'll check.
No, I don't have the stats up, interestingly
I'll
enough.
check for you. It's probably been a while.
Oh, I called up the wrong window, that's why. I have multiple windows going because that's always the smartest thing to do. Thanks for all you tuning in. This game did not get postponed. We had to, you might have seen a slight change on the YouTube side as we told our software to get it right. Our software took a bit of doesn't like us sometimes. We have to convince it of something else. But thanks for all you tuned in. Appreciate it. We were humming along here, 28-6. You figured it out?
I'm trying.
I can
keep working on it.
I can probably find it.
These are weird stats.
Let's go to Run Tracker in the corner, and that's where I find it. I just looked for where the 6 was, and it was at 4:26 left to go in the first. It cut the lead the deficit to 8-6.
Okay.
It was a Valley free throw. The last time they hit a basket was at 6-4 at 5:53 when Maruga hit a layup.
Oh, my.
So it has been almost a full period. As it's 28-6 remains here with 7:25 remaining. Yeah, that's going to be a shuffle step, unfortunately, for Arena Alchanikova. And in for MSOE. Did not see a lot of her yesterday, but Alyssa Gazaris, a freshman forward out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, enters the game. Actually, I don't know if she played yesterday, but as coming into here, she had not played at all this season. And MSOE needs bodies at this point because everyone is gassed as we are seeing on the floor.
Emma Fenton checks in for Emmanuel, freshman center from Monument Beach, Massachusetts.
Dogs for 3, banks her home. Well, you don't complain about how you get 3 points usually, and Dogs will take it. Drive in and a foul called as Weaver, one of the tri-captains on the Saints team, goes up. She'll get 2 shots here. Looks like both Alchanikova subbed in for Alchanikova because now on the floor is Polina. Again, both out of Moscow, Russia, and both went to the famed IMG Academy, and I say famed only because everyone knows about it. Don't see a lot of Division III players out of the IMG come to Division III, and I'll say at least stand out.
Right.
Doesn't mean there aren't them. I see them every once in a while on a roster, especially in other sports. Missed the first, made the second. So Emmanuel now with a 29-9 lead, 6:54 remaining. He's Gordon Man. I'm Dave McHugh, and Coach Yasinov is employing his bench to learn something about the defense. Onto the elbow, Valley, lob pass inside, and unfortunately double team is Cazares. She gets it outside to Valley. Good ball movement here. Mishandled although at Gravo, but she gets the ball back. 6 seconds on the shot clock, gone. Had her hands up, but it goes through them. And another turnover, as that's turnover number 10 for the Raiders. And into the game comes Samantha Brown, and she will replace Wendy Gahn, as Brown and Gahn seem to trade out Gordon whenever one makes a mistake.
Yeah, well, I think we can assume that Coach Yasinov is going to have a chance to use this as a teaching opportunity for his team, so he's going to.
Well, both coaches.
I'm going to effectively run this like a practice where if you make a mistake, he's going to immediately pull you off the floor and talk about it.
Coach Trees, by the way, graduate of DePaul, as Alchanikova drives in and hits the basket. So 31-9 the lead now. Played at DePaul under a pretty darn good basketball coach.
Yeah, Chris Hoffman.
I think she won a national championship there. She graduated in 14, am I right?
I think so. She would have been on that. She would have been on that DePaul team that went undefeated.
Yes, and won at Hope. And the layup is good for Ramirez Tejada. As Emmanuel back on a run here. That was the championship at Hope, right?
Yep.
After and the Amherst Williams, one of the last consolation games,
right,
in women's basketball history. The only way we all knew it was going to be competitive was because it was Amherst versus Williams.
Right.
Actually, last time Williams made a deep run in the NCAA tournament, I believe.
Yeah, Pat Manning's only trip to the Final Four, though.
True.
Eafs have gotten off to a good start this year.
Yeah, you know what? It would be great to see them back in the mix, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, going to be like it is in that conference. It's tough.
Right.
Middlebury last year was
pump the brakes, as it were.
Undefeated for most of the season and the best they could do. They didn't even finish fourth in the conference. They finished fifth behind Trinity and then beat Trinity in what was effectively a play-in game for the NCAA tournament. But it's just such a tough conference. And the thing that makes it even tougher is it's single round robin. So you don't even get a second shot at the top three. You figure
unless you're in that mini three, which is Amherst, Williams, and Wesleyan, and then you got the main three of Bowdoin, Colby, and Bates, who will play a double with each other. 3-pointer from Achanikova, missed. That's Polina. YRT with the rebound, forces it up against Cazares and gets blocked.
Nice block there for Alyssa.
I
don't know if she'll get credit for it. But
yeah, I was just waiting to see how it might pop up on the screen. No. Just flat out miss.
I mean,
that was blocked.
How else would
that was blocked? There's no
what
other
else
way
would that have been?
It couldn't have done it, and it doesn't go straight up in the air because the person had it go out of their hand weird.
I mean, the shot only went. It didn't. It was 2 feet short of the rim.
Yeah.
What else would have been the result? The reason for that to have happened?
Well, they've even got it backwards, if you can believe it. But anyway, moving on. I agree. We've had a number of misses. All the way down the other end of the floor, Samantha Brown for 2. As MSOE gets into double figures now. 33-11, the deficit, 4:08 left to go in the half. And slowing things down is Mathis, a Duluth, Georgia native. Year DePaul won the national championship was the year men went to Atlanta for the first time.
Yep.
That's why I now know it was 2013.
Right. It was the last time Pat and I covered a women's Final Four.
The only time I've covered a women's Final Four, in fact. Not because I don't want to, but that's how we split our resources. Men will be back there in Atlanta for the Tri-Championships this season. And women in a couple of years will be back. They'll do it in Dallas. Or is it Houston? Oh, I just screwed that up.
It's Dallas, I think.
No, I don't. No, because it's women. It's at American Airlines Arena. Yep, it's in Dallas. You're right. I keep forgetting. Because of the women's side, they don't need the big Stardome, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
So they don't need to go.
They don't need to play that
Jerry's Playhouse.
World.
Yeah. So they will. They'll play at American Airlines Arena with all three, and that's great for all three championships. As
it's
Valley
a lot
goes
of fun.
in line.
Yeah,
we went to Indy. 2016.
Yeah, and it just. Particularly now with the connections between the elite teams of Division III and the teams of Division I, you may have Oregon State, former Scott Ruick, the longtime head coach at George Fox there. Gino Auriemma, the year that UConn was there, and one of the many years they won the title.
Yep.
Carla Berube from Tufts, his former player, was there. So
he and the team showed up. Were there for about 3/4 of that championship game. I don't believe they left because they knew Thomas More was going to win. I think they left because they had things they needed to do.
And there's really just, the men's experience in Atlanta was just off the charts if you're a sports fan. And,
YRT has a dribble out of bounds. She apparently wanted a foul. Looked like she just flat out dribbled it out in my vantage point.
I didn't see a foul there.
Subs continue to roll in and out. We'll try and reset the floor here a little bit. Emmanuel with a 33-11 lead with 3:01 left here. On the floor for the Saints, I see Leif is back in along with Gillis. Also out there is Diagostino. I don't know why I'm tripping over that one. Ramirez Tejada out there as well, along with Mathis and a block.
You want to just call her LDA?
LDA, yeah, there we go. LDA, Diagostino, the Broadbrook, Connecticut native with the block, and I hope that one does get credited to her. Out there for the Raiders, I see Dogs Valley, also Maruga is out there. Getting the ball is Gravold. She'll put up the layup, and she gets that one to fall. Cuts the deficit to 20. And I'm missing one. Oh, it's Cazares, who coming into the weekend had not played, but I can't remember. I thought I saw her come in yesterday.
Yeah, certainly. I would imagine so against New England. That again, it's going to be all hands on deck.
Right. I think she did make it in late in the game. So. Ball thrown out of bounds. MSOE turns it over again. As Dogs' pass to Valley was slightly off target. 2:15 left, and Emmanuel with a significant lead.
Yeah, MSOE now
doing Amherst-like things here.
Yeah. Raiders up to 13 turnovers now.
Zone. I was going to say zone defense, but it's a man and a 2-pointer. Long distance for D'Agostino. And so the lead continues to grow. We got another women's game coming up next. Should be a dandy, actually. And then we've got 2 men's games to follow. All of those games should be interesting just as from an X's and O's and paper point of view. As that ball will go out of bounds, it should be off of Gillis, and I think that is how they ruled it. Before we go to break here at the half, we'll take a quick look at the upcoming schedule. Coming in, Miles, the Salem, Wisconsin native, and she will replace Cazares, who put in a yeoman's effort. 10 seconds on the shot clock here for the Raiders, and immediately throw it away to Gravold. I think they were on a different page with one of her teammates.
Gillis got crushed by her own teammate who scooped her off the floor afterwards.
YRT hits the layup on the other side in the meantime. 39-13 now the lead. As
hit like a wide receiver coming across the middle, and when she got up, it was her own jersey had laid her out.
It's always the worst feeling. Trapped in the corners. Gravold, she gets out of it. Dogs with the ball. And Dogs runs into a Saints player, and now we got a foul behind, and we've got an injury for MSOE. I think that's Dogs that hit the deck and is holding the right ankle, and she is in tremendous pain, and they're calling for a trainer. A lot of these teams come without training staffs. Coach Trees apparently frustrated that the trainer was back by the training table, which is atypical, actually. So we'll get a moment here, as you do see on the ground there is Dogs, and they'll attend to her. Now, I'll just say this. Gravold hit the deck early in the second quarter yesterday, and we thought looked pretty bad, and she ended up coming back and playing really well in the second half, and obviously seen her out there today. So we'll have to see really what this might be.
Yeah, you just see the frustration from the season on the face there for Dogs before she got hurt. Just when she lost the ball, just the look of just dismay. I mean, is really the best way to describe it. And then she tries to make up for it by diving for the ball, right? Her team's down a truckload in a season that feels like, I'm sure it's incredibly painful, and then she
Correct.
And then gets hit by her own teammate.
Got a chance to look at the schedule so far today. Claremont Mudd Scripps defeated St. Vincent in a fascinating game, 46-44. St. Vincent had a look to tie or win it and couldn't get off the shot they wanted. Amherst ended up rolling away from Keene State 71-41, though Keene State led 17-14, and that was about the last hurrah for the Owls. As Dogs is helped off the floor, but again, so was Gravold. We'll let them take a look at her and see if she can get back in this. Coming up, we'll have number 9, George Fox, take on UNE. UNE has played 2 top 10 programs already and have not been close. So we'll see if they can go to battle with the Bruins. And then the men's basketball side of things still ahead today. New Jersey City will take on University of Wisconsin River Falls, who's coming off before the holidays a win over then number 6 Nebraska Wesleyan. And then Ramapo will take on St. Scholastica, who had a heck of a first game in this event. 68% in the first half, and ended up holding on to win by 10 over Central. We're back underway here. Minute left to go in this half, and gone in for Dogs, has the ball. She'll pop the shot, leaves it short, and Gillis will eventually track it down. Here come the Saints the other direction. It's Mathis with the ball. She'll get it back to Gillis and into the corner now to D'Agostino. She'll go for the three-pointer, left that one short, and Ramirez Tejada hauls down the rebound. Not only, as Gordon said, a good basketball player, also a good softball player. Heck of a steal there from the Indiana University Purdue Fort Wayne. Interesting enough, Fort Wayne, the host of the Division III Men's Basketball Championship, as that ball rattles in and out, and it will remain Saints ball with 25.4 seconds left and a new shot clock at 20.
Now, YRT there tried to one-arm the rebound and ended up rifling it off the top of the head of one of the Raider players.
Once in a while, you see our clock blink out. That's just because the clock we're shooting at seems to blink out every once in a while. The horn is blown. D'Agostino got in trouble and got pushed out of bounds or is going to be pushed out of bounds by Miles. So Miles will pick up the foul. For Miles, it's foul number 1. As Dogs continues to be looked at by the training staff, that'll take through the halftime, I'm sure, and we'll hopefully see her back in the second half. Lob pass into YRT, off glass and in. So now a 41-13 lead for the Saints, who are shooting 49% from the floor. 17 of 35. 4 seconds left in the half. Gone with the ball, forces it up. Gravold was calling for it, wide open for a three. And that frustration for this Raiders team is starting to definitely show on the floor.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just catch the tail end of the bench there for MSOE. This is a rough one. There's no nice way to say it other than.
At some point, they'll click in and realize it's about playing for pride, and I'm sure they'll do it. But at the same time, it's frustrating to get to that point.
Yep.
They find themselves in a 41-13 hole. Again, we will have second half action. When we come back, we'll get you some stats as well. We'll also get you a sense of what we got ahead, as we did just a moment ago. But we'll take a break in the meantime and come back here in about 10 minutes' time to get you ready for second half action. For Gordon Mann, I'm Dave McHugh. Emmanuel's got the 41-13 lead on MSOE here at the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
My name is Marcus Walker. I was All-State, won a state championship, a high school All-American, and played college and pro ball. I played because I love the game. I grind to be the best. I sweat because I put in work. I'm strong because I believe. When I want to bring it before game time, I come to the house that college basketball built, the CBE. No matter your skill, take it to another level. Elevate your game right here at the College Basketball Experience at Sprint Center.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Bad. What are you doing? Looking worthless.
Don't trust them. They'll hurt you.
You're worthless.
It's pointless.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
You may not realize it, but these words, often used to describe someone with a mental health condition, can be very harmful. In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation. Just because someone's struggle isn't obvious on the outside doesn't mean they aren't hurting on the inside. We need to see the person, not the condition. Join with me, pledge to be stigma-free.
Coach of the Year, Administrator of the Year, All-America Team, Wade Trophy. The WBCA doesn't just honor coaches, but players, administrators, and much more. The WBCA strives to honor those who have contributed to the advancement of women's basketball. Celebrate the present, honor the past, look to the future.
being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Diving in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's going to become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
Welcome back to South Point Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada for the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. Part of the tournament was Sport Tours International. Dave McHugh alongside Gordon Mann. Halftime of our third women's game of the day. And really, Gordon, for the first time we have a game that at halftime is out of reach. Emmanuel with a 41-13 lead. A lot of games had gotten to halftime in all tournaments so far and at least been somewhat competitive or up in the air.
Yeah.
This is the first one that's just seemingly, and it's no disrespect to MSOE, but it's seemingly done.
Yeah, I'm a Milwaukee School of Engineering came in with 9 players, one of whom hadn't played at all this year, one of whom was hurt in the first game but has played so far here, and the other of which is hurt and is, I can't imagine she's going to come back. She's on the trading table having her ankle looked at extensively.
Right.
I think they're
Still
wrapping it. And there's no reason for her to come back. It's 41-13.
Coach has come over to talk
Savannah,
to the trainer.
Yeah, Coach Trees is talking to, that's Michaela Doggs, who's the player who's injured. And, they're not going to add 4 more players in the second semester, right? They're going to have.
Not the type of school that will.
No, and this is it's
watching,
traditionally a problem. Yeah, the other player who was in that same collision, that's Lexi Maruga, is working herself out there to make sure she's stretched out. And that's what the players are doing. They are stretching. You don't see that usually.
No.
And I think it's a matter of trying to keep these kids as healthy as they can.
Yeah.
As good sportsmanship, Ramirez Tejada went over to check on Michaela Doggs there.
Yeah.
The schools that have science focus, which obviously MSOE does, the E is for engineering.
Exactly.
They have a hard time filling out their rosters on occasion. We did a feature several years ago on what's now just known as Stevens, but is Stevens Institute of Technology, and about how difficult it was to build a winning program there in women's basketball because it was just hard to find enough. You didn't have a lot of student athletes who were female, and then to fill out a basketball roster and take the big graduations, the player who didn't return, the loss of the head coach, the fact that this is not a program that has a deep basketball history, and you look at your Caltechs, you look at your MSOEs. These are schools that struggle to produce.
Right.
Struggles to produce women's athletes. Claremont Mudd Scripps. The Mudd is Harvey Mudd College. I don't think that's single gender. Scripps is single gender. But Harvey Mudd is an engineering school. Claremont has 15, 20 players from their roster. Yeah. There isn't one from Mudd on that.
Interesting enough.
So again, it's just if you have a science focus, it's hard to build a roster and field a competitive team.
That's why it's interesting when Rose Holman produces an interesting team. By the way, we'll quickly put up the stats from halftime. Or when MIT, and on the men's side, MIT has certainly had more success. Caltech is starting to try and develop that success a bit. Not starting, they're in the middle of that process. So we've seen it happen.
Yeah.
But you're right about Stevens. Stevens has been one of the outliers.
Yeah, it's hard. It takes time. And, Savannah, who knows how to win and has had a little bit of coaching experience. She's young. I think she graduated in 2014.
Yes.
From
2015.
From DePaul. Spent a couple of years on the coaching staff at Lake Forest, which is in Wisconsin. I'm sorry, is it in Illinois? It's in the Chicago area.
Yes.
But it's going to take some time. And, at this point, it's about trying to get through this weekend without any more injuries. because you start to get to the point where you start to wonder if you can finish the season, right?
Right.
I've got 7 players, I've got 8 players, I lose a player. Athletically, do you lose a player at academics? Probably not at this school. But now you're starting to get to the point where you can't field a roster safely. And we have seen some teams have that problem. New Jersey City, we'll see them on the men's side. It wasn't too long ago on the women's side where they just didn't have enough bodies. They had to actually go. They had a couple of women's soccer players come out and play basketball just to help them get through the season. So I hope it doesn't come to that.
We'll inbound the ball, MSOE with the possession, and they're now going left to right with the red jerseys. Dogs had been a starter, and it's a steal out of the gate for the Saints, and Emmanuel will score quickly and get things rolling for themselves. As finishing that off, Mathis got the hand on it, but finishing it off and kind of causing it all was Weaver. Yeah. And a full court press from Andy Yasnoff. Just wants to end this, probably get his team kind of back up and running after starting the season, having been sat for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I suspect they won't stick with us very long.
I would not think so, no. There would not be any reason to. We saw their reserves play a significant number of minutes in the first half. They used 12 different players, and a bunch of their reserves plays almost a full quarter.
Gravold, Reiser, Magruder, Valley, and Gone on the floor for the Raiders. And a zone defense from the Saints. That's another thing I'm sure they're testing. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Gravold for 3. Hits a back board, but no iron. Saints easy rebound, come back the other direction. Weaver with it. She'll pop 3. Airballs it. And can't save it from going out of bounds was D'Agostino. And, of course, also out there is Cipriano and Mathis, and who we've been calling YRT. That's Uleska Ramirez Tejada. Quickly up ahead, Magruder for 2.
Nicely done. Nicely done there for Lexi.
Maruga, I apologize. I said the name wrong.
Maruga picks up her 4th point.
8:40 left. Leading scorer is Maruga for this team with 4 points. Ramirez Tejada leading all scorers with 14 and 11 rebounds. Double-double at halftime. Shot up and good, and Emmanuel again extending the lead out, 45-15. By the way, rebounding-wise, no one over 6. Cipriano's got 6, except for Ramirez Tejada with those 11. Also has 2 steals. She's got 6 offensive boards. Gravold.
She's the one who got hurt in the last game.
Yep.
She's very slow to get up here.
And they're going to call D'Agostino for the foul. She can't believe it, but someone must have hit Gravold because Gravold went from going straight up to going sideways. Team second foul here in the first minute and 54, and Gravold will go to shoot here. She's a 73% free throw shooter, but unfortunately misses the first. By the way, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say Dogs will not be back.
Yeah, well, she isn't.
You
wonder when she'll be back.
Period.
Yeah, and that
they're treating
she still is not off the trainer's bench.
Right, and she's got her foot actually elevated. Looks like wrapped in ice. But I could be wrong on that description. Well, she's actually making movements to get off the table. That's a good sign. It's hitting the deck as YRT. Driving the lane now is Cipriano. Kick out to Mathis, now into the corner. Weaver's got it with 7 on the shot clock, trying to set up a screen. Gets it. Step in from about 17. Barely caught iron. MSOE will grab the rebound. And at this point, if you're the Raiders, hey, just execute. Go with the flow with the players you've got and see if you can do well to improve yourself before you go into conference play.
I think the backdrop's maybe playing tricks on Weaver here.
Yeah,
Weaver's 2 for 8 and has missed a couple of shots by a long shot.
We do notice.
But she's a good shooter. She's a 47% shooter on the season.
Dogs is, by the way, returning to the bench, but not even putting her shoe on.
Yeah.
We do notice when they switch sides, shooters team to get thrown off. We always have thought that the side that MSOE is shooting on now is the toughest because of the deepest backdrop as Gravold misses a 3, though from the sides it's almost identical. But if you've been shooting towards that backdrop and now you go towards a black one that's closer, it probably does throw you off. Gillis into the game, as is Leif. So you bring in height now, too, because Gillis and Leaf both coming in at 5'9" or 5'11". 7:15 left to go here in the third. It is 45-15. Emmanuel the lead. Not a typo, and we apologize to you Raider fans. Team is not giving up, though. Doing their best to execute. Dogs looks to be out, so they're down to just 8 players now. MSOE is going to get a chance in their league, though. I mean, Andy Yasnov not happy as the pass to YRT did not get there, and it pops free. Raiders come up with a steal. Gone to Gravold now, back to Gone.
Yeah, you're right. They will have games where they have a chance to win. As basket here, they're 4-4. They're 4-1 in conference. Again, their 4 wins are over Rockford, Marion, Illinois Tech, and Alverna, who are probably the 4 weakest teams, or 4 of the weakest teams in that conference. But they're going to have a chance in those games. That's the benefit of being in a really big conference without a lot of strong programs.
Agreed.
So Wisconsin Lutheran's very good.
Traditionally, Bethany Lutheran.
Another conference there. But,
right, I just realized that as I
Benedictine
came out of my mouth.
has been okay. Concordia, Wisconsin
their
has
moments.
been okay.
Benedictine's still recovering from that dance with D2. And
yeah, but there are enough teams in that, particularly the 4 we just mentioned, who they're all going to play one more time. They're going to have a chance in those games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, as a coach, trying to motivate and keep your team together and playing through the second semester, what looks like it's going to be a really painful season, that's what you're looking for. Because, even worse than being down to 6 or 7 players is being in a conference where you're going to get, buried by 30 points every single night.
Gravold misses the 3. Weaver gets it. She pushed it a little too far last time. Up ahead to Gillis. Gillis into the side of the backboard. Again, talking about pushing it. That's going to drive Coach Yasinoff through the roof.
Yeah,
Valley tried to go with a reverse layup at the last second. Gets her own layup somehow. I guess it hit the backboard.
You don't know how much of this is just the nature of the game where they're up almost 30 and the opponent is kind of just trying to make it through the game. But Emmanuel has not looked good in this game.
Not in the second half.
Their
shot
shots
well
are
in the first half.
Their shots are frequently not even close to the rim. That's an air ball.
They shot 48.6% in the first half, but since the second half, they've come in and looked sluggish as Barker will come in and give Ramirez Tejada a break, and Coach Yasinoff's going to
playing against
patrol the sideline more.
Playing against a team that's literally just trying to get through this game, they're not and playing their starters, they are not executing offense at all.
I agree.
And you get a look at why. As there's another poor offensive possession for Emmanuel.
Well, good rebound by Weaver, though. But you're right.
You get a look at why they're 5-4.
To some degree, you're right. Barker dribbles it out of bounds. Coach Yasinoff's seen enough. Wants a timeout, and he'll call it. And I think we were.
Yeah, there's a lot of long glares there at the starters.
He was waiting a bit on that. I don't think he wanted to call a timeout. It's a 30, so we'll keep it here. I don't think he wanted to call a timeout, and he finally decided enough's enough.
I've seen enough.
Yeah. It doesn't matter the score with coaches sometimes. If you're not executing like you should, you're going to get a mouthful from a coach.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder at this point. Obviously, the long layoff, he knows he's got, they're getting the riot act here. You know that they're going to be in a conference where they're going to have some tough games. It's another conference it's actually kind of similar to the NACC. A bunch of teams, some of which are not going to be competitive on any given night. But they are kind of the Concordia, Wisconsin, or the Wisconsin Lutheran of that conference. So there's going to be some teams that push them. St. Joseph's is always well coached. Albertus usually has a couple of talented players. It's unlikely they're going to roll through their conference undefeated, and he knows that the starting unit needs to play better. Because the one thing that probably has already passed them by is an at-large bid.
Fair point.
5-4.
Yeah.
Unless they
granted a win over Amherst will help.
Unless they went undefeated and then lost in the conference final, 6 losses or 7 losses in the GNAC is not going to get you an at-large bid.
Thrown out of bounds, trying to hit Valley up court. No, you're right.
Remember last year we were wondering if St. Joseph's of Maine would get in with one at-large loss.
Good point.
One.
3-pointer good from Gillis. I'll say one thing, though, is Yasanov at least goes out there and
they play a
himself
tougher
a
schedule
bit more than St. Joseph, Maine.
They play the big three.
Yeah.
Traditionally, tough Amherst and Bowdoin as that one just out of bounds.
I think that went through the legs of Leah.
Yeah.
It didn't hit her, but the way she reacted, it looked like it went through the 5-hole. 4:26 left. He's Gordon Mann. Dave McHugh into the game for the Raiders comes Brown. She'll give Gaughan a break. And again, if you're just joining us, MSOE down to just 3 on the bench as Doggs is out of the game due to a ankle injury suffered in the closing minute of the first half. Pass inside to D'Agostino, and I saw 3 Raiders there. I don't think that was going to happen. That's going to drive Coach Yasanov just as crazy.
At some point, do you just sit the starters because there's nothing good that will come from this game?
Right, they're going to get some bad habits possibly.
Yeah, and just let the reserves get some minutes that they're not going to get against the better teams once they get into conference play. Touchdown
Long
pass.
bomb, to Barker. Barker up ahead, draws the foul, and Coach Yasanov appreciates that effort, but the long pass from D'Agostino to Barker and made that worth it. Barkerville, the Plainville, Connecticut native, 5'8" freshman. This is a young Saints team, as we mentioned earlier. They've got a handful of seniors, but there's a lot of youth getting a lot of minutes. That makes it 49-47. 3:45 left to go in the third. As we mentioned, the 2 other women's teams are in attendance now. As UNE is walking into the building, and George Fox has been hanging out watching for a while. 50-17 the score now with 3:40 left, and Gravold has her pocket picked. Up ahead, off the rim for Leif. Valley. Talk about a blue-collar type of player, and Valley's one of them.
So we've seen 2 teams here. In the last 2 games, Keene State lost by 30.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee School of Emmanuel is going to win by 30+. I actually like Keene State's chances in the games tomorrow.
I agree.
Based on what we saw against Amherst and what we saw how they played and the effort and the energy and the execution, even though they were severely overmatched, they played a better game here than Emmanuel has in blowing the doors off of this team. A nice jumper there for MSOE.
Very nice jumper there. It cuts it to 50-19. No, I agree with you. Keene State also just didn't have some shots fall. But they at least were executing a little bit better, a little less sloppy. Agostino takes the quick shot from the elbow, no good, and Andy Yasanov once again reacts to his bench. By the way, he's all over his bench, and that's not surprising. He paces, he stomps. Coach Trees tends to stand there with her arms crossed. Where have I seen that before?
It does. And she's got the Chris Hoffman vibe.
She does have the Chris Hoffman vibe going, doesn't she?
And at this point, I think she also knows that there's only so much you can say.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
They mentioned the teams, so the rest of the NACC. So MSOE has a win over Illinois Tech, who's probably the worst team in Division III women's basketball out of 450. I think they've had 1 win in 3 or 4 seasons. So that's a program they obviously will be competitive, or they may overwhelm them. Marion, who they beat, is 2-7. Alverno, who they beat, is 2-8. Rockford, who they beat, is 1-9. And Concordia, Wisconsin, has not had a good season, nor has Lakeland, although they've played tougher schedules. So, again, the good news for MSOE is those are all teams they could be competitive against. Wisconsin Lutheran, Edgewood, Benedictine, probably not. But
Muruga into the game replaces Miles, as both free throws were good. MSOE's got 21 points. 2.5 minutes left to go in the third. Attacking the rim now is Finn, who's made her appearance and loses the ball. Gravold comes up with it, no numbers, and will back off. Also in the game for the Saints, by the way, Arena Auchinakova, apologize. Backing out and setting up is Reiser. 15 on the shot clock, gets it over to Gravold on the far side. Can't get anything inside going. Reiser's got it now. She'll feed to Maruta.
Nice job.
Yeah, Maruta, who does a nice job on the pick and roll there.
Nice job. Nicely executed by Reiser there to set her teammate free for the open look.
Yeah, definitely absorbed the double team nicely there to get Maruta open. And attacking the rim is Barker again. pays for it, but will go to the line to shoot 2.
Nice 6-0 scoring run for the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, 6-0 in the last 130. Emmanuel hasn't had any points in the last 2 minutes plus. That at least ends there. As it's now 51-23. Oh, all of a sudden all the stat stuff I've been looking for most of the tournament is now working. So I guess we had to get over the halfway point for all the stat stuff to pop up.
They're a second half team here.
52-23.
Oh, a new crew. Okay.
It might have something to do with it. Maybe we'll see more blocks now. 1:30 left to go here in the third quarter of this game between Emmanuel and MSOE. A battle, I believe, is a first-time matchup between these two teams.
I'll have to imagine so,
yeah. Out of Milwaukee and Boston. As a foul called as Valley tries to go with the turnaround. Ramirez Tejada leads all scorers with 14 points. She's out of Emmanuel. She's got a double-double with 11, or at least 11. 11 rebounds. That's confirmed. Maruta now leads the Raiders with 8 points. Team is the leading rebounder with 8. I always love it when that stat pops up.
Yeah.
First free throw good for Valley. She's got one more coming and hits that one as well. Valley now with 5 points on the game. Gravold out, gone in. 1:20 left just here in the third. An MSOE and a man-to-man defense.
Not that it hasn't been effective, because Emmanuel has played very poorly this quarter. But I wonder why they wouldn't go to his zone, because Emmanuel is not a good three-point shooting team.
I thought I had seen zone at one point, too. Foul called on the drive. That will send the freshman from Glen Burnie, Maryland, Taylor Gillis, to the line, the biology major. Hello to all of you Mid-Atlantic viewers.
Where's her high school? Where's Glen? That's got to be shortened from something, right?
It's probably Glen Burnie. Or wait, no, wait.
Glen Elg?
Oh, Glen Elg.
Okay, is that a high school down there?
Such a great name. You can say it in either direction. It's still Glen Elg.
Oh, look at that.
You see this? Yeah.
I do.
One of those little unique ones there, sir. Glen Elg actually produces quite a good amount of talent in a lot of sports. It's one of those high schools that you see a lot, as you see a tie up there. Or they're going to call foul, actually. In the bonus, by the way, as MSOE, as Emmanuel has been fouling a lot. Yeah, Glen Elg's one of those. Glen Burnie is actually near BWI Airport.
Okay.
And Glen Elg is in Anne Arundel County, which is in that airport area. So it's just south of Baltimore, Maryland.
Got it.
And a lot of Ravens fans there. They're enjoying the fact that they lead the Steelers as of right now, unless somebody doesn't want to know the game. I won't give more than that away. Some people might be watching that on delay so they can watch their daughter play, maybe.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible, sure.
I know I did a lot of that this season, so I also get to watch the game faster. 1 for 2. It's a 3:25. We'll fix the scoreboard there. 40 seconds left to go in the contest. I actually have to ask Andy how he got somebody out of Anne Arundel County on his team. I'd be fascinated to hear about that. Three-pointer from Alchinakova is good.
Yeah, first of the season for Arena. Her sister's 0 for 1.
I gave it to the wrong team. I apologize. We'll fix the scoreboard here. 56-27. I got excited and hit the wrong button. 9 seconds left here in the third. Three-pointer on the way. No good from Finn. And MSOE will chuck it up and will fall just to the side. That will draw us to the close of the third quarter. Emmanuel, I'm not going to say in control, but they're definitely in the lead. 56-27 on the Raiders of MSOE. Take a break and come back. You're watching Division III women's basketball at the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success. And prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter about to start between Emmanuel and MSOE. And, thinking about it, 14 points for MSOE in that quarter. That's doubling up what they scored at halftime, Gordon. And Emmanuel putting together 16. A bit of a battle there as the Saints didn't come out of halftime all that gung-ho to play, apparently.
No, well, it's sometimes hard to get up for a game where you also know that
it's true.
It's over.
No, absolutely agree.
Effectively. Let's see what we get from the Saints here in the fourth quarter.
He's going, man, I'm Dave McHugh. We're underway. Emmanuel in the whites with the royal blue numbers. A little bit of gold trim going right to left. Actually, the lettering is gold. MSOE in their red jerseys with white numbers and trim going left to right across your computer monitors. And Barker hits a three to start things off. So that's a good start for Coach Yasinoff's squad.
She's 4 for 4.
Yes, she is. 3 of them coming in the first half in almost sequential, back-to-back-to-back order. There was a steal in between, to be honest, between the second and third. MSOE's improved its shooting. Went from 18.5 to 25.5.
Yeah, sportsmanship there. Again, the last thing they want to do is roll up on somebody's ankle here, diving for a loose ball.
Yep.
32-point game.
And again, if you're just joining us, MSOE now without the services of Michaela Doggs, who injured herself late in the second quarter, got tangled up with a teammate and I think a Saints player on a rebound off of a missed shot of her own, or really a turnover, and has out of the game with what looks like something to an ankle, but that's about as far as I can go, as both the Auchnikova sisters are out there, and one passes to the other, and we get a shuffle of the feet. And Coach Yasinoff less worried about that and more upset about something else. 9 minutes to go here in this contest. Coming up, we have our fourth women's game. It'll be number 9 in the country, George Fox, coming off the win against number 2 Scranton. They will be taking on UNE, who's taken on 2 top 10 programs this season. Both of them out of the NESCAC in Tufts and Bowdoin. They have not been close, so you got to figure Anthony Ewing has got to want something against that Bruins squad. Rebound and basket by Rice.
Nice finish.
Yes, let's get back to 30 here.
Nice job by Reiser there to get in there, and they've shown a lot of heart here.
Absolutely agree with you. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound collected by Finn, and a traveling violation called on her. The jumper was by Leif. And into the game for the Raiders comes Samantha Brown. Can't read my. Apparently, I got new glasses, and apparently I can't read wording now. Antioch. Thank you. I should know that.
Yeah.
Illinois, being a former, having grown up a little bit of my time there.
I don't know if it's the same in Illinois, but there's a Antioch in Ohio that has there's a very kind of a communal living community.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know if it's the same for the one in Illinois.
Barker trying to make it 5 for 5. Yep, I mentioned it. That's why she missed. Clearly.
We'll have to consult Pat Coleman. What's the minimum you need to shoot to get into the record for 3-pointers? Oh, okay.
Needs one more.
So she needs to hit one. She needs to hit the last
5 for
one.
6. Yeah, there you go. Could get into the record book. Gone into the game here for the Raiders. And the Saints made a few subs as well. Into the game for the first time is Emma Fenton, the Monument Beach freshman. 4 makes. So she's in the record book for that. Well,
she just needs to shoot one more. She doesn't even need to make it.
That's a good point. Should we tell her?
We should let her know. Just put it up.
7:15 left to go in this one. Auchnikova over to Finn. Finn for 3, no good. The other Auchnikova grabs the rebound. That's our Arena. Inside, and the basket is good.
Obviously a very different Oh, all right. Well.
Yeah, she's going to need to check up a few. The record's 6 for 8.
Hit a couple, yeah.
Yeah, good luck. Oh, gone to the drive and then gets swatted out of bounds at the last second. And into the game for the first time since first quarter is Cazares, Alyssa, out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. She put in some solid minutes in the first half to give MSOE players a break as Valley will take a seat. They got 3 of their starters on the bench now. Not that you're always going to have 2. Well, now with dogs out, you're always going to have 2 starters on the floor.
Yeah.
Inbounds, or the pass inside to Miles, missed Miles, and goes out of bounds. And so another turnover. That is turnover number 23 for MSOE. Emmanuel was 17. That's not going to please Coach Yasinoff. That ball intended for Fenton goes out of bounds. Fenton listed at 6'2". I believe it.
Yeah, she's tall.
Pass goes to the aforementioned Fenton, who then misses the shot. We'll go back the other direction. 6:19 remaining. 61-29 the lead here for Emmanuel, who's led by larger than this. No points, though, for MSOE in the last 2+ minutes, and that will continue as Gone throws it away.
Yeah, nice hands there from Achinikova.
Inside pass kicked out to Finn. He has a running opportunity at it and then gets fouled by Reiser. Again, good sportsmanship by both teams, and Finn will go to the line here.
Not going to send his starting point guard out there again, Corey Mathis.
Barker will come out. As you mentioned, Mathis is the one coming in. Finn, 47% free throw shooter coming into the weekend. Played at Clark her first 2 seasons.
So we saw in the Claremont Mudscripts game, they had Akamura, who looked like she was about 5'2", listed as 5'5".
Yeah.
Emmanuel has Corey Mathis listed at 5'2". Now, maybe with the hair, she's 5'2".
Yeah.
But if we go just down to the scalp, I bet she's under 5 feet.
Yeah, Reiser's 5'7", and she's at her
gotta
shoulder.
She's got to be about 4'10", wouldn't you think?
Ooh, some swings of some elbows, and that's going to...
Don't hurt anybody here.
Miles will pick up the foul for being a little too close. You're technically not allowed to be throwing the elbows anymore either. You're supposed to keep your elbows compact, but... 5:34 remaining, 63-29. The Saints with the lead. As the ball deflected out of bounds is going to force our Larry Radloff to find the ball and give it back to our official. That delay could cost us on the timing. Got 3 more games to come here today. Can't believe I just said that. Auchnikova to Auchnikova. Foot was on the line. It's a 2. Foot was on the line. Fan doesn't like it from behind us, I think. I thought I heard somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard something wrong. I'm just so used to fans behind us yelling. Reiser forces the layup, no good. Gets the initial steal, but it won't go in the book that way because it ended up right in the hands of Finn. Finn, by the way, played I love your little note here, played for the Somali national team.
Yeah, I mentioned with Dergarian that we have for Claremont, we have a couple of national team members here. Oof.
Oop, yeah. Yeah, Finn's going to get called for the charge there. Readjusts her headpiece, and we'll restart. Aruga into the game for the Raiders. She will give Reiser a break. Reiser a break. I've been saying Reiser. I don't think that is correct.
That's how I'd pronounce it, for whatever that's
Oh, have you?
worth.
All right, we'll keep
like
it up.
Like the comedian, Paul?
Yep. Architectural engineering. Ooh. That would have been a major I might have been interested in. Now, that should have been an illegal screen. Got to give distance to the person you're screening on. And Miles just ran up and set it right on the backside of Mathis. Mathis didn't have to move to be set for that screen. Gaughan's got the ball, but 10 seconds on the shot clock. They trail 65-29. Gaughan, and Coach Yasinoff wanted her to be doubled. Hits the shot, but they're going to say the foul happened beforehand. And it's interesting, Valley jumping to her feet, thinking it was a made shot, and Coach Trees just kind of looking on.
Yeah, they're going to give her the basket.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, how about that? Oh, I don't
maybe
see
not.
it yet.
I thought they signaled to give it to her.
Yeah, no, I was going to trust you, but I also just wanted to see it pop up as confirmation. Gaughan's on the line, and not surprisingly, they're going to keep the Raiders. They're going to say it was on the floor. They just confirmed that.
Okay.
They're keeping the Raiders, and they've been doing this most of the game, off the line for free throws, and that's for obvious reasons. They don't want any extra fouls as we get an errant whistle somewhere.
Yeah.
Where was the whistle from?
The head official.
Oh.
No, some teams.
Right as she had the ball in her hand about to release. They will count it.
All right, there we go. All right.
So I think she probably looked at the scoreboard and went, wait, where's the 2 points? And Coach Yasinov has a smile on his face like, really?
Andy, you're up 34.
I thank you. Thank you.
Relax.
That's exactly. At
You're
least
not
he was
making any
smiling.
friends on the
No.
MSOE sidelines at this point, all right? It's
You doubled them up. It's not
if you
that
believe
important.
in karma, you ought to just relax at this point.
Yeah, no, he's not. But I mean, Grant, I get he wants his team to.
Oh, nice shot from
beautiful.
Mathis.
At this point, though, at some point, I think he's got to pull everybody and be at his reserves. But to be honest with you, he normally plays a lot of players anyway.
Yeah.
So at what point do you? I mean, he's got both.
The only players he's got,
sisters out there.
And the only players he's got left who haven't played, haven't taken their warm-ups off. One of them isn't even in a jersey, so
yeah.
I would assume she's not even available.
And that's what I'm thinking. Is Arena Achnikova gets the rebound. He's got both Achnikova sisters out there. He's got Fenton out there. I mean, there's not many more he can put on the floor now that I think about it.
I think this is all of them.
No, I am seeing that. Achnikova for three. Polina. 71-32 now the lead. I mean, we're not going to see Barker back in here. We're not going to see Gillis. We're not going to see Cipriano and D'Agostino.
Yeah, the starters are all done.
Yeah. Battle for the rebound. It's collected by Polina Achnikova. I should point out, came into this weekend 0 for 1 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
She's at least improved in that category as she's got, well, it says 0 for 1 here. They got the wrong one hitting the three. Oh, boy. Unless my stats are way, but no, they're not behind. Well, now they got her 1 for 2. There we go. By the way, basket good. No, rattled out. I apologize. No, Achnikova now 1 for 2, so she's in that category. And her sister's 1 for 1. The twins have combined for 2 for 3 from beyond the arc and 4 for 5 on the floor.
Nice penetration there by Gunn.
Oh,
nice
great
setup.
pick out. Yeah, to Valley for 2. 2:15 left. It doesn't mean MSOE doesn't know how to play. They just don't have the weapons and the resources to keep up with teams, especially in a back-to-back event like they are playing here this weekend. Oh, good backdoor cut. And Polina Achnikova hits the shot. And Emmanuel now leads almost by 40, 73-34. So at least the reserves have, sorry, I looked over and Maruda had her elbow up. She is not liking how Polina Achnikova is guarding her. And it's not bad defense, it's great defense, but she didn't throw an elbow, the elbow got up in the air. Let's just say that much.
Yeah, she caught Fenton earlier with a pretty high elbow, too.
Marina Achnikova with the rebound. You got to be careful because those are the kinds of things that can get you out of a game very quickly. And
should clarify, I'm not sure if it was her or one of her teammates, but Fenton took an elbow to the nose a few possessions ago.
Kick out to Finn with a little over 70 seconds left. Hits the side of the backboard, no good. And Maruga picks up the rebound. She's from Anamosa, Iowa. And we will get a timeout called here by MSOE. Probably just want to set up something to finish this off. 73-34 with 64 seconds left. Let's see here. MSOE, 12 of 51 from the floor. Has played much better in the third quarter for shooting, but they're 1 for 11 from beyond the arc. 7 of 16 from the free throw line with 25 turnovers and 33 rebounds, being out-rebounded by 13. Though they got 13 offensive rebounds, that's pretty significant. Emmanuel, in the meantime, 27 of 59 from the floor at 46%. They've only cooled off slightly from the first half. 9 of 22 from beyond the arc, 10 of 12 from the free throw line. They've got 18 turnovers, which Coach Yasinov's not going to be happy about. 42 rebounds, but They've got 16 steals and 21 assists. Less than a minute to go here in this contest. Gone with the ball. Bounce pass into Cazares. Outside to Gone. Gone will drive. Suddenly pops up a shot. Missed it. Maruga gets the ball, and she'll be fouled by Polina Auchenikova. And Auchenikova drew that one because she didn't stay straight up. Her arms moved down. And she will pick it up. And Maruga, who was 3 for 8 for the free throw line entering the weekend, will go to the line. She's a three-sport athlete for MSOE. She runs cross country and an outdoor track. Misses both free throws.
She's going to need those endurance skills, I think, the rest of the way here for MSOE.
I agree with you.
During the season.
I agree with you. 73-34 as this one's looking to wrap up. Feed inside, off glass and in, and Saints seem happy as Fenton gets 2 points. Gets a chance to go to the line here for an extra bonus point for the foul. She's an elementary and special education major. (75-34). Make it 76-34 in the old-fashioned three-point play with 33.2 seconds left. Coming up again, it'll be UNE out of Biddeford, Maine, taking on number 9 George Fox out of Newburgh, Oregon. It's almost as far east and west as you can go in Division III basketball for a matchup in terms of where they're located. Unfortunately, losing it there was Brown. They'll get it to Emmanuel. Coach Yosinoff will make sure they get across the timeline, and then they will dribble it out from here. For Emmanuel, I mean, Gardner was a good start, not necessarily a great second half, though.
Yeah, it basically played out like a practice against another team. I mean, they ended up playing this team game basically as an extended practice. They'll have to be sharper tomorrow. They're 6-4. Again, they are probably have played themselves into a situation where they have to win the conference anyway.
Yeah.
But you don't want to stumble into conference play with a loss against a Keene State team that's 2-8.
Right.
And for MSOE, these are the times that try men's souls. I mean, they're going to have a rough second half of the season. Unless there's a couple of players or athletes who are willing to suit up for them, they're down to effectively 7 or 8 players. Dogs hurt her ankle, looks like fairly significantly.
Her teammates put her on her back.
They're literally
Valley can do everything.
They're literally going to carry her to the locker room.
Hey, hats off to Valley though. That's awesome.
You know it's serious because
see it at the top of your screen. By the way,
the Emmanuel players and coaches have taken a lot of notice and concern for her as she leaves the floor. So Savannah Trees has done a lot of winning. She knows how to win. She'll get a chance to build this program up, I'm sure. There will be happier days ahead for the Raiders, but this second half of the season, and they're going to have some games they can win. And that's what you ask for. You ask for those games on the schedule where when you're getting beat by like they've got beat tonight, you need a few games where you can say, this is one we can point to and we can get up for a little bit. There will be better things ahead for MSOE than there is right now on the end of 2019.
Agreed. I'll wrap it up for us for now. We'll have the our final game of the women's side of the schedule coming up. And then we'll get men's action. Actually, we'll take a quick look at that schedule. I haven't updated the score of this game on here, but coming up, number 9 George Fox against UNE, and then the men's basketball at 6 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Eastern time. NJCU will take on University of Wisconsin River Falls, and at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern, Ramapo against St. Scholastica. For Gordon Mann, I'm Dave McHugh. Thanks for tuning into this game. We'll be on the air in approximately 20 minutes to get you ready for George Fox and UNE. You've been watching Division III women's basketball for the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic here at South Point Arena, put on thanks in part by Sport Tours International, and of course we want to thank Blue Frame Technology for their production truck software. We'll see you soon as, again, the final score, Emmanuel improves. Correction, we got the wrong graphic there. I apologize. Emmanuel improves their record. They win 76-34 against MSOE.